the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
Today we're here with your lesser-known saints for the month of August, Part 1.
So we're starting out big with a Welsh name.
All right, so here we go.
Get the month started right.
Yep.
If you want to get your month started right, and you want to celebrate a saint on the 1st of August, your best choice, well, a choice that you could make is Saint Elined, also known as Ellyw. Ellyw. I'm just gonna go with Ellyw.
It looks like Ellie with a W on the end.
Yeah.
L-E-W.
L-E-W. Also known as Almedha, who is a martyr. That we know that. They were a martyr.
We have no idea how to pronounce the name, but definitely a martyr.
On
August the 2nd, we've got the easier to pronounce St. Thomas of Dover, a.k.a. Thomas Hales, a Benedictine monk who was martyred by a French raiding party in 1295. Dover being very proximal to France.
On the 3rd, we have Saint Gamaliel.
That's right, that Gamaliel.
Yeah. You may have heard of him from the letters of Saint Paul, because he was Saint Paul's mentor and rabbi.
He was an axe.
Was it Acts? You're right.
Because
You're right.
He's the one who said essentially let these people that say they're what they then called the Christians do their thing. If it's of God, we don't want to be the one who messes it up, and
That's
if not,
right.
It'll phase out.
That's right.
But Gamaliel is the one that Paul means when he says he's a Pharisee of Pharisees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the best Pharisee.
The most Pharisee of all the Pharisees. So, Gamaliel, saint, because he was wise, so we recognize the truth of Christ. On August 4th, we've got Saint Raynerius of Spalatro, a member of the Camaldolese order and archbishop, who was murdered, not martyred, by the residents of Spalatro. Yes. Apparently, they had many disagreements, but they did not kill him for his faith in Christ.
Yeah, it was like civil unrest or something, so it
in
might have been
Italy,
an accident.
that is
I
shocking.
know.
I would say that they killed him because he wasn't a good guy, but he was a saint, so that clearly wasn't.
So they probably killed him because they weren't good guys.
They weren't good guys.
Or again, he just got, caught up in it. He wasn't properly dressed in his archbishopy stuff. They thought he was just some random guy, and
He could have just been on the street, and you know how mobs are.
All right. On the 5th, we have a saint who I'm going to say her name is Nouna.
I would say that would.
Yeah,
I would say that would
think
be
that
how
works.
I would guess at it.
And most of all the information we have is who she's related to. So
She's the wife of St. Gregory of Nazianzus, the mother of St. Gregory Nazianzus the Younger, Caesarius of Nazianzus, and Gorgonius.
On the 6th, we have Saint James of Syrian.
That totally should have been Jess's.
Yes. He was a hermit who lived in Mesopotamia. Was he of Syrian or
yeah,
of?
he was a Syrian who moved to the area that
No, I'm just
is general Mesopotamia.
Just generally Syrian would be
Yes.
would be the adjective.
Nate, these are what the sources say.
Well, that was my question.
It could be that I typoed. It could be that autocorrected. I mean, our autocorrect does not like how you spell Aryans in any way.
Of Syria, the Syrian, 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
I mean, we're going to end up later in this month with a name for up to 300 people, so,
All named Bob. On August the 7th, we've got Saint. Now, let's see, there's an S and a C, so Basicicus of Kemet in Egypt.
Well, Kemet was the old name for that part of
Gotcha.
Egypt. So,
Of Kemet, who was a martyr who died by beheading. Poor fellow.
and on the 8th, we have one that's somewhat of a cheat because Mike knew something about her already. So, do you want to talk about this saint that you already know one fact from?
No.
We're just gonna go with the one. We're just gonna go with what we've got.
Yeah.
Oh, I assume this was your, one fact.
so-
They're a saint.
On August the 8th, we've got Saint Mary of the Cross, a.k.a. Saint Mary Helen MacKillop, who founded the Sisters of Saint Joseph of the Sacred Heart, schools, and charitable groups. She is the only Australian saint. And lived a very interesting life about which we won't tell you here.
No.
Yep.
But perhaps later on, Purdy Dew will go and request that we discuss it in further detail.
As day follows night.
So, just as the sands of the hourglass,
Welcome to the Popish plot.
so are the days of our lives.
All right, before we get to the evil twin, you want to do the saint for the 9th?
Yes.
Given that we're both bearded, I think we're already the evil twins. Mm-hmm. Somewhere there's a good Nate who's clean shaven.
Or perhaps the good Nate, or perhaps the evil Nate is the unshaven one. On the 9th, we have Saint Numidicus, who is an African martyr.
An African martyr?
Question mark? Was a priest? Maybe. Was burned at the stake in Carthage. We know that part.
That is the agreed on part. What isn't agreed on is if it killed them. And if it didn't kill them, they might have then been ordained by another saint afterwards.
That's awesome.
I was going to say, because if we know for a fact about the burning at the stake part, does that mean that the part of the African martyr that's question mark is
martyr?
Yeah. So definitely burned at the stake. The question is whether he survived
Whether it
and
killed
was
him.
then ordained by Saint Cyprian, or if it killed him. Or possibly he was burned twice, and the first time it just didn't take.
I don't.
Wow.
wouldn't be the first saint to have a martyring that didn't take.
That's awesome. Saint Numidicus.
Actually, to be honest, while I don't really want to be a red martyr at all,
Sure.
if I have to be a red martyr, I kind of want to be one where the first time through
Like, they just can't
it
kill
didn't
me.
take.
You want to be Saint Sebastian? Famous for having the arrow sticking out of him because that just didn't do it?
You know, perhaps they all think I'm dead and they leave me off in some pile of bodies to rot, and then later on I'm just
What I want.
it's not what I want. It's not what
But if it comes to
it's not what I want. But if it's got to go weird, I want it to go really weird.
I respect that.
He's like, we've read so many stories where it's the martyr, where it's like, what do we know about them? They lived in this area and they were beheaded. He's like, I want one of the ones where it's like, they tried that and like the axe just broke. Like 5 axes just broke.
They just kept hitting his neck really hard.
He's like, are you done yet?
Still here, guys.
That one tickled. Try a little bit harder next time.
No. That's again. This is why they made the guillotine, because anything less than a clean stroke is just awful.
Yes. All right. But on the 10th?
On the 10th, I'll do this one again. Saint Deusdedit. Deusdedit of Canterbury. They were a shoemaker. Wait.
They were a shoemaker who
He was a
lived
shoemaker
in
who lived in
Rome.
Rome.
Saint Deusdedit of Canterbury was a shoemaker who lived in Rome.
Listen, anybody from Canterbury is going to stand out in Rome, so you'd be known.
Also, he like gave all his money to the poor, and like the Pope liked the fact that he was clearly a very holy man. But
Sure, plus,
but still,
a heck of a shoemaker. Jess, you want this one?
all right. On the 11th, we have Saint Francis of Saint Mary. Not that one for the first one. I don't know which Mary they're named after. They were a Franciscan, really surprising, who was martyred. They were burned alive with 4 others in Nagasaki.
See, that's the one where I really wanted to take once. If I gotta be burned alive, I really don't. I want it to be quick.
I mean,
Well,
It won't be quick.
I would want it to
burning
be.
to
I
alive.
would want it to be long enough to do my St. Lawrence quip, but yeah,
Yeah.
not original, but that'd be awesome. On August the 12th, we got Saint Just, who might be the martyr justice of Beauvais or another justice, but that's only might be totally some other dude.
On the 13th, we have Saint Radegund,
This isn't good.
known for her charity and kindness, died when attacked by a pack of wolves near Augsburg, Germany.
But at least
Clearly, those were not Franciscan wolves.
No. Oh, she didn't have the wolf whispering
no.
gift.
They were clearly Grimm's fairy tale type wolves.
Well, but remember, the whole point of the miracle is that it was a vicious wolf that Francis was able to whisper. So even that was not a good wolf.
Yes, and she's known for being
Radegund.
She's known for being, charitable and
And
nice.
kind.
Not for having beastmaster abilities or
Saint Radegund, not a beast mistress. Although, that's a cool name, Radegund. On the 14th, we have one of those rarest of beasts, a Saint Anastasius. You'd never hear anybody with that name.
I know.
A Benedictine abbot, the Archbishop of
Good
Es-
luck.
Esztergom, and the primate of all Hungary. Sadly, no Roman numerals, so we don't know which Anastasius this might be.
It was a weird month for them.
This Anastasius stands alone.
Yep.
Bonus points, though, if you know somebody whose name is Anastasius in the modern era.
I've known Anastasias, but never known Anastasius.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
I mean, I've heard of a few Anastasius, especially like girls who got that as a confirmation name because they like the Russian princess, but there was an earlier one that was everyone agrees on, so not just an Orthodox name.
Well, like I went to school with a girl named Stacy, but her actual name was Anastasia.
As far as I know, none of them were actually born on the correct day for the name. But,
Sure.
Sure. And rounding out this
front half of the month,
we have Saint Neopolus, also known as Napoleon. Not that Napoleon.
Trust me, that guy's not a saint.
This one was Egyptian and martyred under Diocletian.
Ugh.
No information on exactly how.
But again, Diocletian, epic level jerk.
I'm just saying, for all we know, it was the bag animal body of water method.
You can't prove that it wasn't.
From what I understand,
River, rats, rucksack.
From what I understand, Diocletian did appreciate the old sack, snake, and sea method.
Jerk.
Definitely jerk.
All right, so these are the lesser known
Saints of the first half of August.
If you've been provoked by any of these, comment below with your request that we do a full episode on them, or some other obscure saint. Give this episode a like, subscribe to our channel, and ring the church bell to be notified when we do the back half of the month with more obscure saints.
And until next time, as always, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
And
Share that love.